Hello, hello, hello. It is Papa West on politics, and this is Fact Check Sunday. First, I want to begin with making a correction from Find Out Friday. I had DNI, Director of National Intelligence. I had her name wrong on Find Out Friday. Her name is Tulsi Gabbard. It is Tulsi Gabbard, that is her name. So when you see Find Out Friday, I was calling it Kelsey Gabbard, but it's Tulsi Gabbard. Just want to correct that so people know that I will correct things when I make a mistake. But in any case, let's go into the Tulsi Gabbard situation. Tulsi Gabbard came on TV and said that she has some paperwork stating or showing, representing that Obama falsifying some records to incriminate Russia in our elections like it didn't happen. Okay, let's give receipts to Miss Tulsi Gabbard. Miss Tulsi, this is for all MAGA and everybody else. There is a video of you on YouTube with Joe Rogan in 2018 discussing this exact matter, and you're there saying, basically admitting that Russia did interfere with our elections, and you also said that we interfere with other countries' elections, and you said this is something that countries do, and we shouldn't be surprised when they do it to us. You're saying this, so anybody want to look it up, just go and look at 2018 Tulsi Gabbard interview with Joe Rogan, and you will see that. So that makes you look very, very foolish, Miss Gabbard. That makes you look very unprofessional, trying to lie for your boss. It's not cool. But I guess you forget that, when you do something online or media, we can always find it. But I know some of your MAG supporters probably wouldn't look it up. But guess what? The rest of us, we know. Now, on top of that, let's go to the next receipt. Mr. Mark Rubio. He was on an oversight committee that looked into Russia's interference in our elections. And they all came to the same conclusion. Yes, there were some other players that interfered with our elections, but mainly Russia. They interfered in our elections. That's receipt number 2. Number 3, let's not forget Donald Trump came out during the campaign saying that Russia, if you can find any of those emails from Hillary Clinton, please release them. We sure can use it. You can help us. So that's basically, he's asking Russia for help. Now he's going to come back and say that Obama some kind of way falsified records when all the evidence is there that they did do this. So we know what this is. This is an attempt to deflect one of the TTE principles. Remember the core principles? Trump tries on experience. There's core principles. The core principles is dishonesty, delusion, dysfunction, deflection, no accountability, and chaos. They're deflecting. They're using deflection. Now, here's the thing. Obviously, this is going to hurt him. That's why he's trying to run away from it. But see, the problem is, if he was so smart and was playing chess, he would have not talked about this all this time, years previous, not went along with it with MAGA and all these other wacko people, okay, that they are motivated by hate, discrimination, and racism. And this is what feeds them. They want to see some prominent Democrats or celebrities in the Epstein files to bring them down. Okay? Now, I'm sure there may be some in there. I'm not saying it's not. But the issue is Donald Trump was 15 years friendship with Epstein. This is a buddy for 15 years. So it's almost impossible to even consider or think that he wasn't either doing some of these things with Epstein, or aware of these things that Epstein was doing, or just acting like it was okay and he was complicit with it. Either way, it's bad. Okay, that's just what it is. Now, the bottom line is this. I don't think he's ever going to release him. Hopefully there's some file somewhere else they've been copied where someone else can release him. But see, if he was doing a great job as he continues to lie and fabricate and being delusional about, if he's doing a great job, he may be able to get past this. But since you're doing such a horrible job and then lying about the job that you're doing, when you're lying about things that are good, you're doing a great job. It's just like you're living in an alternate reality or something. No 99 deals, trade deals with no countries. You take the stock market. Department of Efficiency with Elon Musk. That was a bomb, a tank. Nothing happened with that. You notice I haven't been talking about Department of Efficiency? About what was the efficiency? What did they find? Okay. Then you laid off all these people from the FCC, Department of Education, Department of Veterans Affairs, Social Security, etc., etc. Okay. You decided to focus in on deporting thousands and thousands of Latino brothers and sisters when we need them to be in the country anyway. And you've had them work for your companies, Donald Trump, you and your best friends, for years. So hypocritical. Now, anybody in their right mind wants people that are murdering people, big time drug traffickers, trafficking young women, etc., etc. Of course you don't want them in the country. But the reality is, that's not who he's deporting. That's not who he's arresting. Everybody knows that. So basically, just another lie. Another failure. Okay? Just another lie, another failure. Now, the other thing is, MAGA, are you so filled with hate, discrimination, and racism that you don't want him to be a president for the whole country, just for you guys? Did you feel that way about Obama or Biden? You want them to be a president for everybody? He's supposed to be a president for all of us, not just for you guys. Okay? That being said, there's a way to do these things. You need to have intelligent people that love America, not just love MAGA, not just love white America, that love America to help people in America make their lives better. That's who he's supposed to have in his cabinet. But he chose not to do that because he doesn't want to make your lives better. He will give you some red meat, MAGA. The red meat is the immigrants is enemy. Immigrants need to be deported. The immigrants are so bad. Well, most of these immigrants are good, hard-working, God-fearing people that's supporting their families. That's the truth. Plus, they have contributed over $89 billion or more in our economy, and a lot of times they don't get none of that back. I've had family members telling me, oh, they're drained on the system. Well, if they're drained on the system, some of the money that they basically put back into the economy, they don't get none of it back. So if any one of their family members or cousins, whoever, gets some of the resources back, they paid into the economy too. So I guess you don't understand that. Now, if you're going to tell me, well, if they're illegal, it doesn't count. Oh, the money still counts. See, the money still counts. It don't matter if you don't like that. The money still counts. See? Now, the bottom line is, Mr. Trump is unqualified to be president. He basically was unqualified to run his businesses. That's why the businesses went under and he went bankrupt. He's unqualified. He just really is. He's hard-headed, doesn't want to listen. That's why I call him a psychopath. You don't learn, and you don't really listen to people. They only can influence you if they compliment you and say nice things to you and kiss your ass. But that's not what a president should be capable of and what they're built up to run this country. So with that being said, this is why he's unqualified to be president. That's why he shouldn't be in there. So now, A lot of you voted for him, either you're MAGA or triple Trump supporters. You said, oh, I voted because I want him to lower the cost of living and this and that, this and that. Okay, I'm assuming that you're not lying to yourself in the mirror, that you didn't vote for hate, discrimination, and racism. I'm assuming you didn't do that now. The hardcore MAGA, I know what you did. We know how you move. But what I'm saying to the ones that actually said they voted for lower cost, better cost of living, and all these things, okay, first of all, I'm not sure why you would believe that from him, since he's been lying and been a con out his whole life. And so all of you that have this fantasy recollection, so if you are serious, if you're serious about wanting your life to improve, well, you can see that he hasn't done that. Now, all of you that has had this, I would call it a romantic illusion about his first term as president, I mean, obviously, you got to Google and look at what really happened. Okay? He inherited a very good economy from Obama. That's first of all. Secondly, he handled COVID very, very poorly. A lot of people died that shouldn't have died. In case you've forgotten some of the highlights, he caught COVID himself and almost died. So that should disqualify him by itself, not listening to the doctors, not listening to the scientists and professionals. He caught COVID and almost died, okay? So then we had to be in the house and we had to get a stimulus check, and I'm not understanding I'm not understanding how some of these brothers and people of color, you so romantic and remember about getting a stimulus check. I'm like, really? He handled COVID poorly, family members died, and you got a COVID check, and that's one of the reasons why you voted for him this time? Really? Unbelievable. That's unbelievable. It's really unbelievable to me. And the economy was horrible. He added so much money to the deficit. He defunded the farmers. He did it last time. Now he's doing it this time. So when you go back and act like he did a great job the first time, I'm like, what term of president of Donald Trump are you talking about? Because we all had to live through that shit, okay? With that being said, back to 2025. Okay. People that know Donald Trump, that work with Donald Trump, that supported Donald Trump, that voted for Donald Trump, told you before the election, if he gets in there, he's going to be a dictator. When he gets in there, he's going to be dangerous. You can't trust him because he's going to put people in there that's not going to correct him and check him and say, look, you got to do the right thing. People told you this. And then you other people, especially people of color, didn't want to vote for the woman. I don't want a woman over me. Okay, she locked up some brothers back in Oakland back years ago. Or her husband is white. Really? Really? And you listen to all the horrible things they said about Kamala Harris. So, I don't want to be the person like I told you so. But it's very difficult if you're a critical thinker to try to understand why you would either thinking staying home, not voting, or voting for him and not supporting Harris would be a good thing. It boggles the mind. And now you've seen all these things that he's doing, and you want to say, I didn't think he would do that, or I don't think he meant all that. And I want to believe him. Really? Okay. In any case, the bottom line is, you guys say you voted for what? I don't think you voted for this. But a lot of people say, yeah, you did vote for this because you voted for a liar. You voted for a con man. You voted for a psychopath. You voted for the Trump Twilight Zone experience. Core principles. Dishonesty. Delusion. Dysfunction. Deflection. No accountability and chaos. That's what you voted for. That's who he is. Okay? And MAGA hardcore, at the hardcore soul of MAGA, is hate, discrimination, and racism. which most of this is unsustainable. It's unsustainable. But I digress. All the grown-ups in America, my white brothers and sisters, my Hispanic brothers and sisters, my black brothers and sisters, all the grown-ups in America, we must push back, fight back, and everywhere we can. We might have to do a couple more marches, maybe 1 million, 2 million marches up to Washington a couple times. Here's a pushback. That's right. We need to do that. Now, Democrats, this is a special public service announcement for you guys. I am proposing that you implement this program I call Americans Helping Americans. What is it? Democrats, senators, and congressmen and congresswomen, I need you to donate 1% of your salary every month until you take back over the Congress and the Senate. Well, mainly the Congress, until you take over Congress. Okay, I don't expect you to do that immediately, but I expect you to get your finances in order within 3 months, put together a fund, make sure you run the numbers and everything, so you can help your constituents fight back against the big, beautiful bill that's going to be painful to them. You can't take care of all of it, you can't fix all of it, but you can help by putting some skin in the game. It's called Americans Helping Americans. And some might be MAGA. I don't know. Maybe they might not even take the money, whatever. But the bottom line is, call this the start of the Project 2026. The alternative. The revenge to Project 2025. That's how we start off with it. That's how you get down. See what I'm saying? This is called a power move. The Democrats, this is a power move to show your fellow Americans that you really care, you're concerned, and you got some skin in the game. Now, I'm not saying you have to do it for you. I'm telling you, this is the right thing to do if you care about your fellow man and your fellow families here in America. You see, yes, you can walk and chew gum, continue with Epstein, put pressure about Epstein files. Donald Trump is complicit, we know that. But you can walk and do Trump. You can walk and chew gum at the same time. Americans Helping Americans. Make sure you show up in all the bad situations around the country. Do it in groups. Hospital closed down, you be there with cameras. Senior citizen home closed down, families got to go back to their house, be there with cameras. When this flood happened in Texas, should have been there with cameras. Whenever something goes wrong or destroyed or is bad under administration, you be there with cameras, and you make sure you try to help them as much as you can. Be about it. Don't talk about it. You talking about it, it's fine. I'm telling you, be about it. So you're going to talk about it, be about it too. Okay? Now, I'm going to say this. If you do this, this will be considered a power move. And you will make all MAGA congressmen, the administration, look very, very awful. Pretty bad. Oh, yeah. But here's the thing. When you went back to the House, I want you went back to Senate too. When you went back to the House, I want you to hear me clear. Do what you say. What are you prepared to do? Okay? Any Democrats, y'all not on the same line, you either get down, lay down, and get out of the way. You get down and do what you say. You lay down, you support the Donald Trump situation, or retire. Get out. You go and find something else to do, because you ain't got the balls to be a senator. You just connected a check. You ain't got the balls to be a congressman. You just connecting a check. You're not ready for prime time. Okay? Now, what the American people ask you to do, they want you to raise the minimum wage. Okay? You're going to have to turn back a lot of these executive policies that he did. Okay? You got to stop him in his bootstraps. And if you have proper grounds, after you get in there and look at all the files and all the things he's doing, make sure you impeach his ass. Okay? Like full stop. Full stop. Okay? Now, I'm saying this to you. If you're MAGA and you don't understand, you know what? Good luck with that. This man is dangerous. He's a psychopath. He doesn't know what he's doing. Because you don't want to see it, because you want to put blinders on, anybody with a brain that's does critical thinking knows that this man's dangerous, ridiculous, okay? Psychopath. So with that being said, Democrats, do the right thing. MAGA, wake up. Move from the darkness into the light. It's called Google and YouTube. Do your research. And with that being said, this is Papa West on Politics, and I'll see you next time.